All right, Shalom Israel. First and foremost, as always, I would like to give all praises, honor, glory, respect, and blessings to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakaha, Kwadash. Salutations to the Lord's elect on the four corners of the earth, pushing His truth and sincerity while patiently waiting for Yahweh Shai's return. And double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, which have taught us everything we know through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Welcome to another series of GMS on the job. I'm currently at the plantation right now doing the video. I'm in the middle of working, but the Lord has blessed me with, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai has blessed me with, with the ability to be able to do videos while on the plantation, in the middle of working. Not too many, brothers are able to do that. So, the water Yahweh Shai for allowing me to be able to do this video in order to edify the Lord, in order to edify your sheep while on the job. So this video is going to be about how they did not want to wait to get the fame and the glory when Yahweh Shai returns. Okay, I'm gonna say it again. The title of this video is called "They Did Not Want to Wait." Okay, they did not want to wait until Yahweh Shai returned to get the fame and to get the glory. Okay, and the inspiration of this video comes from this this whole situation that's going on with the gorilla Hebrew, and him disowning the Hebrew Israelites, and and basically we don't care if you disowned being a Hebrew Israelite. Ultimately, good riddance, and literally the Lord is going to get rid of you during the lake of fire, which is Babylon the Great. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Those are two separate shoes. Oh, Salak.
Yeah.
So again, they did not want to wait for Yahweh Shai to return to get the glory. They had, when they came into this truth, they had the mentality of becoming a Hebrew celebrity when they was brought into this thing, this truth, this thing of ours. They had the mentality of shooting to the top, garnering fame and popularity. Well, they have received their constellation. They have received their reward, and the Holy Scriptures speak about waiting on the Lord, Okay, as it is written, therefore wait ye upon me, save the Lord, till the day that I rise up to the prey. For my determination is to gather the nations, that I may pour upon them mine indignation. But there were a lot of cats who came into this truth who did not want to wait for that. They wanted the fame, they wanted the glory right then and there. They wanted to, appease to the public, to the, the community, the community. They wanted to appease to the community. They wanted to appease to the so-called white man. Some guys took the bag. Some guys have monetized their videos and have made money off the truth. You have guys who came into this truth They sold breakdowns. They sold, garments, Hebrew Israelite starter kits, not knowing that there's going to be a punishment for that. Okay. There's a punishment for that. Okay. And a matter of fact, that's in the book of Sirach, the 2nd chapter, where the Lord basically said through the prophet Esdras, "Woe unto you who have lost patience, and what shall you do when the Lord shall visit you?" A lot of these guys who fell out the truth for filthy lucre gain, for uncertain riches, they have destruction coming for them. Hence, the word woe goes back to the Hebrew word abadayim, which means destruction. Okay. These guys did not understand that, they did not understand the mission. Okay. The fame and glory is going to come when the Messiah returns. Okay. You see, ultimately, if it be Yahweh, while Yahweh's will, if it be their will that we be of the elect, we're going to get the fame and the glory when Yahweh returns. Okay. That's when we're going to get our fame and our glory. And indeed, the Lord's elect is going to shine. And that's what, a lot of these guys who fell out the truth because they were not of the elect anyway, a lot of these guys, they fell out the truth because, they had no vision. And we know what the Holy Scriptures say about those who have no vision, where there's no vision, okay, the people perish. So, a lot of these guys who fell out the truth, they really had no vision of seeing Yahweh return. They had no vision of seeing the elect getting beamed up, the elect being crowned by the Messiah, Yahweh. They had no vision of seeing this place burn via nuclear fire. They had no vision of okay. Oh my God. What? Excuse me. You mind if I get that hanger?
Why?
Because we need it for our clothes.
This is for your clothes.
Huh?
It's for this.
Oh, okay. I didn't. I feel sorry for that child. But a lot of these guys who fell out the truth, they had no vision of seeing themselves receiving those new bodies. Okay. A lot of guys who fell out the truth, they had no vision of seeing themselves come back down from Yahweh's chariot as New Jerusalem. Garments decked out with gold, silver, precious gemstones. Decked out with all manner of precious stones, decked out with platinum. Who knows? Glowing eyes. Having glowing eyes. Having a glow around them. Their skin glowing. They these guys who fill out the truth for uncertain riches, they did not see a vision of the elect, flying through the air, putting the earth in subjection. People looking at them and people looking at them in awe and amazement. Because let me tell you something. When the elect get that power, when they get those new bodies, The people of this earth, the looks on their face is going to be something they have never seen before. Okay, when they see the Lord's elect flying through the air, teleporting, shooting fireballs out of their hands, okay, dispersing into lightning bolts, striking down militias, military men, okay, when they see the Lord's elect lifting up tanks using telekinesis and then throwing it across cities, people's gonna go crazy, like, oh my God, is this real? Oh my God, and you better best believe it's gonna be billions of women. It's going to be billions of women who's going to have their eyes on the Lord's elect in those days. When they see that power, it's going to be billions of women who's going to have their eyes on the Lord's elect. When they see the Lord's elect doing these things, putting the earth in subjection, showing the so-called white man that his blessings, his bombs, his missiles ain't shit, seeing the Lord's elect literally, seeing a missile being shot at them, right? And then the Lord's elect, do a backflip, jump on the missile, and then they start surfing on the missile, just flexing, showing off, okay? And then at the same time, they're literally navigating the missile right into one of Esau's own helicopters, and then the Lord's elect do a backflip off the missile, and the missile hit the helicopter, boom. People's going to be mind blown. You see, and this is what's coming to the Lord's elect. So these guys who fell out the truth, they had no vision of these things actually happening. Because where there's no vision, the people perish. And spiritually, these guys perished because the spirit of life left these guys. Because ultimately they were not of the elect. You see, we who are the hopeful members of the elect, we know what's coming. We know what the Lord is going to bestow upon his elect men. And we're patiently waiting that we might receive that reward, that promise which the Lord promised his elect men for waiting on him. You see, Lord's will, if we're of the elect, that's when we're going to get our fame. That's when we're going to get our glory. When we receive those new bodies, where we can't sin anymore. Okay, we'll never be able to sin anymore. We're gonna be perfect. We're gonna have beautiful hair, beautiful eyes, a beautiful body. I mean, literally, every time the sun shine on your hair in those new bodies, your hair is sparkling. People could see your hair glittering, sparkling. Me personally, I'm gonna have Lord's will, if I'm of the elect, and I receive one, and I received one of those new bodies. My hair, I'm gonna have waves in my hair. The waves in my hair is gonna look like it's moving. The waves in my hair is gonna look like it's moving. Every time I go to move my head, or every time I'm walking, the waves in my hair is gonna look like it's moving. And my hair is gonna have tiny little shards of my hair. It's gonna have microscopic little shards of gemstones, gold, platinum, and every time the sun shines on my hair is going to be sparkling and shining, and the waves in my hair is going to look like it's moving. You see, that's what's coming for the elect. That's why we hope to be of the elect. This is the reward that's coming for the Lord's elect. You see, this is the kind of reward that's coming for the Lord's elect. You know? You know? Damn, being able to fly. Imagine being able to fly up into the air and into the atmosphere. You know? People just watching you walking through the city as we're putting Esau in subjection. You know, you just walking through the city, and then out of nowhere, you just rocket glide, take off right into the air. You don't think that's going to make you popular? You're out of your mind. Hell yeah, that's going to make you popular. People's going to be in complete awe at the power that Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai bestowed upon you. They're going to be in awe. Like, oh my God. Oh my, I can't believe my eyes of what I'm seeing. And this is not going to be something that people's going to see over a computer screen. This is not going to be something that people's going to see on TV. This is something that people is going to see with their own two eyes in person. And they're going to know that they're not dreaming. They're going to know that it's not CGI. It's not computer generated. Okay, it's not AI generated. It's real life, and it's right in their face, where they cannot deny what they're seeing. That's the type of fame and popularity the Lord is giving his elect men. And Lord's will, if we're of the elect, all we have to do is wait, brothers. All we have to do is wait. And that's why, like it tells you in Isaiah, is that Isaiah 40? Okay. And they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. Okay. You see that? They shall mount up with wings as eagles. You know? You know, it's going to be an exciting moment for the elect. You know, that's when we're really going to party. When we're able to just go around the world, beating the world into submission. Lord's will, if we're of the elect, you know, the Lord's going to give us that power. We're going to be able to just fly around the world and just beat the world to submission. You know, if you like Chinese women, if you like Asian women, if you like Japanese women, you know, if you like Taiwanese women, if you like Thailand women, you'll be able to just fly, or hell, even teleport into those regions and just flex, show off your heavenly garment. you know, everything on you gonna be decked out, and it's all gonna be real. Ain't nothing on you gonna be fake. It's all gonna be heavenly gold, heavenly silver, heavenly platinum, heavenly precious stones. You know, your garments, all the way to the socks on your feet. You know, some of us might be dressed like the angels too, man. Like Apostle Tahar said, you know, when Ezekiel was describing the angels, and you know, Ezekiel said that their foot was like calf's foot. It was talking about how they had on ninja boots. Well, hey, some of us might have on ninja boots, you know, pure gold ninja boots decked out with all manner of gemstones, all kind of precious designs on them, you know, made from the finest fabrics that you could think of. Heavenly fabrics. Think about that. Heavenly fabrics. Whew. You know, and you just got all these fine ass, you know, Asian women, you know, Filipino women, Chinese women, They all just looking at you like, oh my God, like you know they want it. You know, they're literally coveting after you. They want you. You know, and guess what? You're gonna have Israelite women that's gonna be living in these different countries around the world. You're gonna have Israelite women. You know, Israelite women. You know, because there's going to be Israelite women that are of the elect that's going to be living in these other countries too, such as China, India, Japan, Taiwan, Thailand. You know, some of these Arabian countries like Turkey. You know, Turkey, Iraq, Afghanistan. You know, some of these East Indian, which is the East Indians, some of these Elam countries, such as India, you know, Pakistan, you know, Iran, you name it, man. You could have women from all around the world just, you know, they're going to want you, man, after they see how you dressed and the things you're doing, teleporting, flying, you know, you dispersing into lightning bolts and just, you know, bouncing off of objects, you know, just destroying shit. And then you're rematerializing. Come on, man. That's when we're going to get the fame and the glory, brothers. That's the fame and the glory that the elect is looking for right there. Okay, not this worldly fame. Okay, fuck the fame and the popularity of this world, man. Okay. I've gave you just a small glimpse of what the Lord's elect is going to receive for waiting on Yahushua. Okay, and a matter of fact, Paul even said it best. He said that the reward that the elect is going to receive is going to outweigh the sufferings. It's going to outweigh the sufferings that they are going through. You see? So word, you can't put into words what kind of fame and glory the Lord's elect is going to receive. You know, the most baddest women around the planet is going to be flocking to you after seeing how you dress, how unbelievably handsome, how unbelievably sexy you look, how unbelievably decked out and badass your garment look, your clothes look. And you just going around flying through the air, you're jumping through the air, doing all kinds of torpedo spins with your blade, chopping motherfucking military men into pieces, and then while you're in the middle of flying through the air doing torpedo spins, chopping people with your blades, you just, you literally just vanish midair. You're gone, and then you appear behind somebody else. Bam. You literally materialize a blade made out of pure flame in your hand, and you just burn this motherfucker. You shoot iron blasters out of your hands, Hadoukens. I don't know, man. Anything that comes to your mind. You literally just dive into the ground like you're scuba diving. You dive into the ground and you come up from underneath the ground behind somebody and slice them in half. Hell, you might even just show off, and I don't know, maybe bring a car to life. You might have that car look like a cartoon, and start walking on twos and just start beating the hell out of military men. Hey man, look. That's when the elect is going to get that fame and glory. But as for all these guys who fell out the truth, they fell out the truth because they had no vision. They had no vision of what the Lord's elect is going to receive. Okay, they had no vision of the glory that the Lord's elect is going to receive. They had no vision of that, they just couldn't see it, they couldn't see the great reward that is coming to the Lord's elect. And the reason why they could not see it is because ultimately they're not of the elect. They're not of Yahushua's sheep. Okay. And Yahushua even said it himself. He told him, look, you're not of my sheep, you know. Yahushua said his sheep hear his voice, and they hear him and they obey and they follow him. You know? So, you know, they fell out the truth because they wanted the fame, they wanted the glory now. Or you know what? Some of these guys who were scoffing us and scorning us, you know, the Lord might actually allow them to see the power that the Lord's elect is going to receive on the side. You know? You know, and then they're gonna be like, then they're gonna realize they messed up. All right, man. Whew. Hey, man, great things is coming to the men that are of the elect that wait on Yahushua. You know, and in the Lord's will, if we're of the elect, all we got to do is be patient and wait, man. Do as the Lord command us, you know. And hey, man, when Jacob's trouble comes, man, you know, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ratazah, you know, the Lord have mercy on us, deliver us, and we receive that glory. Cause you know, oh yeah, and I was watching the brother Ma'aka Allah from the Los Angeles camp. You know, it was him and two other brothers. I remember them. They had made a statement about FOMO, FOMO, which is an acronym for, you know, fear of missing out. You know, if you're gonna have a fear of missing out, it should really be on the glory that the Lord is going to give his elect men. Because if you miss out on that, man, you really missed out. You really, really missed out. You don't want to miss out on the glory that the Lord is going to give his elect men. You know, you want to, you know, continue to fast and pray to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, that the Lord give you the spirit of endurance to endure. You know, that you might receive that reward, man. So, you know, I don't want to make this video too long, man. You know, with that, I'm gonna say shalom. It's on to the next one.